If you're a manager feeling stressed trying to deliver more results with fewer resources, you're not alone. But here's the thing, trying to absorb all that pressure yourself isn't just unsustainable. It's not good for you and it's not good for your team. In this video, I'm sharing my 5Ds method, which will help you manage this challenge effectively. So you know how to make smart trade-offs and keep your team focused on what truly matters. As a leadership coach, there's one challenge I'm hearing from virtually every manager and leader right now. Even though the year has only just started, it's the pressure to do more with less, whether it's budget constraints, resource limitations, or just the general economic squeeze. Leaders everywhere are feeling this pinch. But there's a right way and a wrong way to handle this situation. Let's start with something we all know. It doesn't always feel that good facing into reality. We see succeeding in our leadership career as doing the work, getting the results, being can-do in our attitude. And many managers try to absorb all these pressures themselves, thinking they're protecting their team, or if everybody could just work a bit harder, you'd get there. But here's why that doesn't work. You see, if you don't set the priorities, your team will end up setting their own. And they might not be the best decisions for what the business needs right now. And the more you push, the more you risk overwhelming everyone, including yourself. We've been at this more with less for a long time now. And if we're honest, employees are already complaining of stress and burnout as a result. So your job as a manager isn't to be some kind of superhero. It's to set clear direction and make priorities for your team. When resources are tight, you have 3 levers you can pull. First, there's the scope. So this is what you deliver and its quality. Then there's cost. So this is your budget and the resources, including people you have available to do the work. And finally, there's time. So these are your deadlines and your timelines that you have to complete the work. And here's the reality. You can't have it all. Something has to give. Say you're asked to fast track a new product launch, but your team is already flat out on current projects. So what are your choices? You could simplify product development to its core, accepting it won't be perfect, but you'll have a workable product. Or you might get some temporary additional resources, essentially throwing some extra money at the situation. Or perhaps you change the timing of this project or push back on another one to ensure that the work gets done properly. Either way, a decision needs to be made, and ignoring the constraints is not an answer. This is where my 5Ds method comes in. Now, it builds on the Eisenhower matrix, but adds a crucial leadership dimension that I think makes all the difference. So the Eisenhower matrix breaks tasks or activities out by importance and urgency, and this gives us the first 4 Ds. First, there's do. These are your high importance, high urgency tasks, so you've just got to tackle these. Then there's defer. These are low importance but high urgency. So you could reschedule these, push them back, or delegate them to someone else. For delete, these are low importance, low urgency tasks. So you should be finding ways to get rid of these, maybe through automation, simplification, or just stop doing them altogether. And then there's the most valuable box for leaders, the decide box. These are the high importance but low urgency tasks. This is where you have thinking time and can work out when and how something could get done. The key here is to schedule time when you will do your decide thinking. But here's where it gets interesting. Just when you think you've got your priorities sorted, there's a hidden factor that can derail everything. You see, this framework falls short when you do this for your team. Because if another team makes a different priority choice, this lack of alignment will almost definitely set you all up to fail and create even more stress in the system for all the teams, especially when it crosses those functional boundaries. This is where I add a 5th D. The 5th D is for dependencies. This is about what work requires alignment with other teams in order to succeed. So let's go back to that fast track product launch example. So imagine the market insights team has this as a low priority versus their other projects, and the sales team has it as a high priority. When it comes time to sell this to the customers, the customer proposition or the selling story might be below what the sales team expects or needs to sell it. And the result is everyone gets cross and frustrated with each other, and the success of the project may even be at risk, even though the insights team has delivered exactly what they committed to deliver versus their other workload when the original project was briefed. The leaders of teams who understand this and spend time mapping their team projects and activities across the matrix to help them decide what is important and what needs to be deprioritized, and connect with cross-functional colleagues, ensuring they have their work priorities aligned, will be winners. Put simply, they are already setting themselves up and their teams for success. Getting these dependencies aligned just supercharges the results because you remove the blurriness and give sharp focus to what needs to get done in terms of scope, resource, and timing. Now, at this point, my clients usually say, yes, but my manager won't accept any of these situations. They just want it all done. This is where having this final step in place makes all the difference. Every successful manager needs a consistent and robust planning system, an operating system, as it were, and it's not optional. You need to make sure you spend time in the decide box in the first place, as trying to make these decisions in the reactive short term means that we hurry to the decision without necessarily fully understanding the situation or the implications. Also, under pressure, you don't have time to talk to the right people. So you end up resorting to can-do attitude and just getting on. The one thing I've often seen with managers is that they don't give themselves permission to prioritize planning time, yet it's the very thing that could accelerate their success. I recommend using a quarterly planning framework, which allows you to translate the bigger annual goals into more tangible and doable plans. This is the perfect moment to review your bigger goals and priorities and break them down into concrete actions and milestones. And then identify potential resource constraints and dependencies. You then support this with weekly planning rituals to review progress on those goals, adjust the priorities based on new information, and plan any key activities that week, and ensure that your scheduled strategic thinking time stays in your diary. This system helps you do one more incredibly valuable thing. As you're planning, you will automatically spot the people you need to speak to about the issues you and your team face. So it helps you get on the front foot and reach out so that you build strong stakeholder relationships. This includes planning regular check-ins with senior leaders, which will make it easier to talk openly about priorities and trade-offs and share your decisions and rationale proactively. You see, the power of this system is in its consistency. It forces you to think ahead rather than just react. It helps you to spot potential issues before they become urgent. It makes it easier to say no to low priority requests, and it gives you confidence in your decision making and creates a rhythm for your team to align with. If you're wondering how to do this, I check out this next video where I share the exact framework from my Manager OS course that helps my clients reclaim their time and get on the front foot as leaders. It's definitely the one thing that I've learned that has made the biggest impact on my results. So I'd go there next.